Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Hey, Craig, how you doing, buddy? Look forward to fishing with you in a couple of days. John, always a pleasure. Rocking out a little bit here in my home studio. Sean, good evening. Nice to have you along with us. As I say, John, Randy, Mike, Dina in Kazoo, Jim in Tennessee where it's raining. Of course, rain is a good thing this summer, isn't it? Hello, Ed. I'm doing great, Julie. Always nice to have you along with us. John, Bruce. Anyway, my name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on my social media outlets, including Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Rob checking in from the Great North. Hey, Uncle Johnny, how was your fishing outing? Hi, Michelle. How are you? Anyway, we'll be up in White River here in just 2 weeks already now. Man, that's coming up fast. Hello, Scott. Thank you, David. I appreciate that very much. Cliff, nice to have you along with us as well. On this edition, what day is it? Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Hello, Dennis. Just got finished with last week's podcast. Well, is my mic not connected? Let me check my settings here, my friends. It sounds good on my end, but I will check. Is it you or is the volume? Is it me or is it you? System preferences, input, the Scarlet. Looks good on this end. The output, the Scarlet. Let me go to settings here. Audio, mic. Everything looks good here. And it sounds good here. You're freezing up. You must have something going on. Fading in and out. Yes, it is mandatory. How well? Audio is cutting out on YouTube. Breaking up. I don't know what to tell you, my friends. Everything is fine. Volume is fading. Everything is fine on my end. Marlette says hi. Hello, Kevin. You know, I'm an audio freak. I don't like it when the audio's not good. But honestly, on my end, I don't know what else to do. Everything is... I think it is my internet connection. Sean says he can hear me loud and clear. It did not fix it. I don't know what to say. It's not fixed. Breaking up too. I'm not doing anything any different than I ever do. Ed says it's wow. So I've got some people saying no sound now. Some say terrible. Kevin said it's fading in and out. And Craig says it's good now. It's fine now, Jerry says. Better now, Rob says. I don't know. I couldn't be any closer to this mic. Honestly, I am so close to that mic. I'm eating the mic right now. I think Scott says nothing. Johnny says, I got it now. I don't know what it is, my friends. Apparently it was on my end. Obviously, maybe my internet connection is not as stable as I would like it to be. Sounds like I'm talking into a tin can. Audio. See, here's what happens. If I switch to this, I bet you'll find out I don't sound nearly as good now because I'm using the mic on my laptop. I will switch it back to Here's the mic on my laptop right there. Okay, that's what it sounds like when I'm using the mic on my laptop. Now I'll switch it back to my microphone, my Mr. Microphone. Better. There you go. I'm not going to sign back off, Julie. It is such a pain to get back in here. I got to jump through a lot of hoops to set this thing up, so I'm not going to do that. Kevin says, there you go. It's actually quite a I don't know what to tell you, my friends. Good. Well, whatever it was, it is now fixed. It's actually, it's kind of interesting that I can even do this at all. I mean, to do something like this used to take a live truck and a director and a technical director and audio people. So the fact that I can sit here in my office at the house, my connection's timing out. There's nothing I can do about that. I did see that orange Smalley. What's that all about? I got a lot of people complaining tonight. Sounded good the last 2 minutes. Audio sounds better, but the video's not matching up. Sounds good here. Internet connection going in and out. I'm about 30 seconds away from just pulling the plug on this one tonight. I am kind of a freak when it comes to quality. I like to make things as good as I possibly can. This is good to hear, Tony. The water is still 74, 75 degrees. I'm going to be out there Saturday. No, I'm going to be out there Friday and Saturday. Linda says, don't pull the plug. All good here. We did get out yesterday. Bay was 74 degrees. Caught several by the spark plug. Great sun now. Thank you, Fred. No, Johnny, I get it. I appreciate it. Can't fix problems on the listener's end. Yeah, I'm going to be out there now. Actually, Friday, fishing with Craig Plowman, his brother, and his neighbor. And I know Tony, I know right where we're going to go. And you know right where we're going to go as well. And then I'm fishing Saturday again, too, with Cookie, my buddy Cookie. Rob in White River had a bear grab one of his minnow pails 3 inches from the canines from the bite in the pail. 3 inches between the canines. That's a big. No, Linda, it is skinny water. It's actually skinnier than I've been fishing all summer. Where I've been fishing 9 to 12 feet, this is okay, 8 to 10 feet. Hello, Johnny Bowler, the Bear Whisperer. Yeah, I'll be up in skinny water, all right. I know, Linda, I know. Ross says, sounds fine now. Not sure what the topic is tonight, but so disappointed regulations for deer and APR tags. Tell me more, Ross. What are you talking about? Don't know what to tell you, Mona. Everything's good on this end. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the mandatory check-in? Because Scott says it's not fixed. Honestly, if half of you are having a hard time watching this tonight, I'll just go fill us full of Maker's Mark right now and call it a night. The mandatory deer check-in, I am all in favor of that. All in favor of that. I think that's a great idea. This is something I've been talking about. Handsome Mike. This is something I've been talking about for a while. And you know what's funny? People have been bitching about this and complaining about this, the mandatory check-in, saying, why doesn't Michigan have a mandatory check-in like all the other states? And now we get a mandatory check-in that's going to start this fall, and people are griping about the fact that we have a mandatory check-in. Hello, Captain Jim. How are you, buddy? Well, the fish are deep, but the fish are also shallow right now, too, if we're talking Saginaw Bay walleye. I agree with you, Richard. And the thing of it is, YouTube is good. Dan says Facebook isn't. Facebook is like, I hate Facebook anyway. You're right, Jeff. You can't please everybody. And the thing about the mandatory check-in for this season is it's mandatory, but there will be no penalties associated with it. So it's mandatory, but it has no teeth. And this is just a way to get people involved and a way to get people used to the process. I have no problem with it at all. What about the guys hung up in northern Michigan? We have no internet service when you're at camp. You're right. Yet it is a good. Then check in when you get a cell signal, when you get back out of the woods. I'm new to this. Why can't you keep the walleye? You can keep the walleye, Debbie. Absolutely, you can. And by the way, nice to have you along with us. Appreciate you joining us on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. My name is Mike Avery, by the way. I see a lot of tickets for hunters not doing it. Yeah, not this year. There won't. I can guarantee you that there will not be one ticket written in the state of Michigan this fall for not checking in your whitetail. No, it's not, Scott. It's not harassment at all. It's not harassment at all. Michigan hunters have been crying about this for a decade. Why can't we have mandatory check-in so we get a better number on the size of the harvest? Because they said you take them to a deer check station, that's not good enough. We want a mandatory harvest, and now a mandatory report. And now the DNR comes up and says, okay, hunters, we'll do exactly what you want. You have to report this now, and it's mandatory. And you guys are bitching about it. Make up your mind. What do you want? Linda is dead on. It's data collection. The more information, the better. I agree, Ed. I find this so interesting that so many people in Michigan hate the DNR so much that you don't care what they do. You're against it. There won't be, Jason. I'm telling you right now. And if there is a ticket written for this in your part of the state, you come back to me, because I was told by Ed Golder, who is the PR director for the DNR, who told me flat out there will not be a ticket written for this in Michigan this year, that this first year will be an education thing. Now, if somebody gets a ticket, it's because they're being an ass in another area or for another reason, and that's why they're getting the ticket. Yeah, take 30 seconds. Just don't make it mandatory. Jason says, just don't make it mandatory. Well, if you don't make it mandatory, how are you going to get people? We do need an app. But Johnny, and here's the thing. You can, it's called StreamYard, Martin. You can, there will be an app. You can do it online. All right, Jason, you let me know. Can I talk about DNR for a minute? Okay. And this is actually this week's Ask Avery segment. By the way, if you're just joining us or if you're new, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. It's something I do every Wednesday night on my social media outlets. Everything except for Instagram. StreamYard does not play well with Instagram or vice versa. This week's Ask Avery segment deals with the question of how much money does the Michigan DNR make on the license application process and the sale of licenses. I asked them for 3 categories: bear, elk, and spring and fall turkey. I didn't ask them for whitetail because you don't have to apply for a whitetail license. You can just go buy one. So here are the numbers for 2021. Because obviously we don't have 2022 yet. And I talk about this in depth on the Ask Avery segment at the end of the second hour of this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show that'll air Saturday and Sunday. For 2021, the bear application revenue was $293. So this process of people paying, what is it, $5 or whatever to apply for a bear tag, that raised $293,000. The bear license revenue, because keep in mind, there's only 8, 9, 10,000 licenses. That raised $155,000. The elk application process revenue was $283,000. Actually, no, check that, 238. So call it $239,000. The license revenue on elk, because they don't let many of them out, is only $25,000. Fall and spring turkey, the application process, $135,000, but keep in mind, you can get a turkey tag without applying. So for that reason, the license revenue from spring and fall turkey license sales in Michigan in 2021 was $1.5 million. Now, people say that the DNR is using this application process to get rich. I want you to keep in mind the numbers I just told you. The biggest number, well, the $1.5 million for fall and turkey license revenue. The 2021 Wildlife Division budget, not for the whole DNR, just the Wildlife Division, was $47 million. So the DNR is not getting rich on this. You might also ask, and I'll move on here, where does the money go from license sales and from the application process? Again, from the DNR, the bulk of the revenue from bear and elk applications and license sales is deposited in the Fish and Game Fund. Money deposited in the Fish and Game Fund can be used for a wide range of wildlife habitat and management work, including but not limited to bear and elk habitat and management work. A portion of the revenue from turkey applications and turkey licenses is also put into that same fund. However, turkey is a little different in that there is a turkey-specific sub-fund. So part of the money goes into that. There is not a similar sub-fund for bear and elk. So the DNR, and to their credit, they gave me those numbers. I had to ask for a couple of weeks to get them. It took a little bit to get them, but they gave them to me. So those are your numbers. And I bring that up because people hate the DNR. Well, the DNR is getting rich on this application process. They're not. They're making some money, but they're not getting rich on it. I don't understand this hatred for the Michigan DNR. Now, I will tell you this. Lately, I have been less of a fan of the DNR than I have been in several years for over a couple of reasons. Number one, it's getting pretty political. And I think we're putting less emphasis on sound scientific wildlife management, i.e. Proposal G. I do not like the fact that social science is being taken into account. Okay, this doesn't bother me. This is my Rush Limbaugh thing. This doesn't bother me at all. But thank you, Linda. Sound scientific wildlife management. When I put it on, the audio is disrupted. It's a tough crowd tonight. You guys are a tough crowd. Oh, anyway, Proposal G, sound scientific wildlife management, too much social interaction. Social science. I'm also very disappointed with the progress or lack of it has been a long day, on the consent decree negotiations. Now, people who are involved in this can't officially talk, but I've been talking to people who are a part of this, and they're giving me bits and pieces. And the consensus is, in their mind, they believe the DNR is selling out sport fishermen. And that's why MUCC, Hammond Bay Salmon Association, and two other groups have filed suit in I honestly, folks, I don't think I'm going to continue tonight. It's been a long day, and I'm apparently a little bit under the weather tonight, and don't have the frame of mind to continue. Okay. So whining. There does seem to be a lot of complaints about the. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So obviously, apparently, I'm having some technical problems tonight. And if you know me at all, you know that my goal is to produce as good of a quality of program as I possibly can, both from content and from technical quality. And apparently, the technical quality tonight is getting in the way of the content getting through to you. So for that reason, I'm going to wrap this one up a little bit early tonight. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a whole bunch of Maker's Mark in this one and maybe go out on the patio and fire up a Fat Bottom Betty. Yeah, Johnny, I don't think my heart and my mind are in the right place tonight to continue. And I've never had this happen before. This is a very unusual spot for me. But I think it's what I need to do tonight. Anyway, my friends, I appreciate you joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. I will look at your comments and I will look at your criticisms and I will see if there's something I can do to improve. In the meantime, I'm going fishing Friday. I'm going fishing Saturday. I hope you get a chance to get out. My website, by the way, MikeAveryOutdoors.com, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. And the email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. All right, my friends, have a good night. Thanks for joining me on this abbreviated edition of Wednesday Night Live.